There's this cheap whiteboard, this dollar store foam core whiteboard outside of the studio. My plan was to just write down idioms, ideas, phrases, or any inspirational quotes that I felt was important or helped me out in the pursuing of growing this YouTube channel. Most of these could actually work in everyday life or anything else that you guys are trying to do. So let me get this whiteboard. Alright, I'm sure this list could have been bigger, but it was when I'm passing by the studio and I had the idea in my mind. But I also write a lot of stuff in my phone too. These are in no particular order, so there is not one idea that is more important than the others. We'll just go from the top. First one says, always be thinking of ideas, but execute even when you don't want to. Now that end part kind of sounds a little demanding and blunt, but even when you don't want to is more like a mantra, man. Because you'll always have ideas, everyone in this world will, but the one that executes on those ideas will be the winners. Believe it or not, you're not the only one thinking of your grandiose, world-changing idea, bro. There's thousands of people thinking of the same idea, and some are actually a little ahead of you because they're actually putting in the work to get it accomplished and bring it to reality. Actually, all of these are more so a message to myself, but feel free to use it for you. Next one, workout proper. I try promising myself that I get into the gym a little more this year, and I'm gonna be honest, I haven't been the best at keeping up with my promises to myself. Why it says workout proper is because you can go to the gym and you can put in like 40 minutes to an hour's worth of workout, but if you don't actually pay attention to the muscle activation or like the proper way to lift weights, then you're probably wasting 40 minutes just being at the gym. Maybe getting that small workout, but also it is the discipline, right? Like just being one of those people that actually pushes themselves to walk into the gym. You're already ahead of the game. The secret to working out effectively is really paying attention and working out proper. So we're here to work on our mental, but also our physical. Change I have to into I'm happy I get to, because okay, I learned this one from the great Dr. Demartini, who is a philosophizer, an author, and just a good person to learn from on this interweb. He started a YouTube channel, he has podcasts and interviews out there. One I would recommend is an interview he had with Omar from, what was it called? The Passionate Few podcast. Just an amazing set of questions, and it would probably be one video that would inspire you on the spot after you listen to it. I'll link it in the description just for you guys. Next, think things through. Like, really think. One book I would recommend, and this is one that my dad actually gifted to me and my brother to read a long time ago, is Thinking Fast and Slow by Daniel Kahneman, I think. And he is also a philosophizer. I don't know how to classify these people. They're just great thinkers of our generation, you know? Take the best ideas from all other automotive channels that inspire you. Okay, I learned this one from Randy from Eliminate. How he grew so fast in the beginning was he took elements of every single YouTuber, vlogger, car automotive channel that he liked, and he incorporated that into his, and what he didn't like, he left out. Another important thing to keep in mind is cut the fluff. Like, you don't need a lot of stuff that a lot of people keep in their videos, and it's kind of hard to gauge, especially if you are the person who's filming, also writing the script and doing the editing. It's hard for you to point out what even is considered fluff, right? Or if you need it. But that's kind of when you just put yourself in the audience's perspective, rewatch the video one more time with that in mind. Just watch it from a third person point of view. Like, would you actually enjoy every minute or every second of your own video if you were a new person or a new viewer to your channel? Protein shakes. Okay, that's another one for me. It's just hard for me to gain weight. As it is, I have high metabolism, and I also just don't eat as much as I really should be. Okay, average maybe 2,200 calories a day, which is average for everybody. But in reality, according to my brother who actually works out religiously, I should be eating close to like 3,500 to 4,000 calories a day, and at least my weight in protein. So 2023, man. I mean, everybody says every single year, but fuck. This is me putting it out there in the quantum realm and also on YouTube. I'm now holding myself accountable, okay? Birdie, put on some damn weight. Next, quadruple down on what works. This is one of the main reasons why I'm taking a step back. I know the car stuff was kind of working in a way. I also let ego take over. I got greedy, and I started letting the wrong people into my circle and saying yes to the wrong shit. Now, after like months of deliberation and really trying to step down in a way from the car stuff, I have quadrupled down on the art. I'm back on doing commissions full-time. Like, the freelancing is where it all began anyway. Like, long story short, I would not have been able to buy that FRS for myself if I never pursued the art, okay? It was because I started doing art conventions and really trying to build a portfolio online, being a freelance illustrator and finding clients on Instagram and stuff like that. That's pretty much how I'm able to keep myself afloat, you know? So I really gotta thank the art talent that I have, man. Honestly, I can't take it for granted because it brought me this far. I was able to grow 2 YouTube channels, create a living out of it, buy my first car with it. It's the art I really have to double down on. Or in this case, quadruple down, so yeah. Post more of what people subscribe to you for. Wow, that works with the last one. So I guess this is where you really have to pay attention to your analytics. Like, go backwards. Really nitpick those videos that worked on your channel. The ones that got millions of hits or thousands of views. Break them down. And learn from them and why they were so successful and had so much reach, and then post variations of them, because there's a reason why those videos actually gained so much attention, and it was because it probably touched a certain feeling inside that person. And that too, like, those are the videos that see the most success, are the ones that are either helpful to somebody or of service to someone that really needed that help in that time in their life, or it struck a chord or touched someone's heart, you know, emotionally it got to them. I like this one. Learn to say no. I've just been like super happy-go-lucky kind of guy, saying yes to everything, seeing everything as an opportunity and giving everybody the benefit of the doubt, you know? See, I came to this realization. I've learned to give everybody in this world 100% of my trust. Even before I meet them, even a stranger, it's on them to lose that trust in time. It can happen in a split second, it can happen in months, it can happen in several years, right? It really depends the actions of this person. Whereas a lot of people in this world, it's, you don't have any of my trust. You have 0% of my trust. Absolutely none of it. You have to gain it. And I guess this is where you kind of have to be in the middle. The thing is, like, you have to learn to say no to the things you do want to do. And there's a lot of those. And I was just saying yes to everything, you know? Happy-go-lucky guy. The kind of person who just jumps off the cliff and hopes for the best. Or at least learns on the way down how to build a parachute. Just ask. Okay, growing up, I was taught by my parents to be super self-reliant, independent. I taught myself to be resourceful. Probably the year after finally being of working legal age here in Canada, I found myself working 3 day jobs just to afford myself fat farm shoes with fur inside. And I thought those were so cool. 1 paycheck went into those shoes. So even till now, it's just hard for me to ask anybody for help, because I've always been one of those people who would first off just be able to figure things out, and found that like pressure really does push you to better yourself in all aspects, even though it sounds counterintuitive. Don't you guys ever get that in school when like you have an essay due, but you wait until like the last day or like the night before? You end up doing okay. Sometimes you even get better mark than you anticipated, right? It's because of that small pressure. It's just when you have way too much on your plate, it can get daunting, and sometimes too much is just way too much, and you actually really do need help. Especially if you're owning a business, you gotta find, how do I say this? You gotta find the right people to fill in the areas of your business, but make sure that those areas correlate to their strengths. Or else it'll just be you overlooking their shoulder, micromanaging, making sure they're doing everything correct. Whereas like, if you just find the people, like if you need a videographer, find someone who's good with the camera, or better yet, went to film school, and see if they'd love to partner with you. I'm sure you guys can work out some sort of partnership, but I think the goal is to just eventually, hopefully, create a community that will attract these kinds of like-minded people that are just masters in their own craft. That is the dream goal. Take it from me, guys. You gotta learn how to delegate. Birdie, if you need help, ask for it. Brand deals, work with companies. You know, sometimes you don't need hundreds of thousands or millions of followers or subscribers to actually get a brand deal. You just need to be aware of their presence, how helpful they can actually be for a channel, and as long as they relate or align with your interests, there's nothing wrong with doing a brand deal or a sponsorship for a video. As a matter of fact, actually, don't think of yourself as selling out. There's a reason why these companies may have come to you. And on the other side of this coin, you yourself can actually create the proposal and send it to to them via email, or most likely they'll have some sort of like partnership submit form. This is kind of for me, and an area where I lacked is approaching companies I want to work with to see if I can sponsor a video. Being that selfish, self-made person that I see myself to be, I never really contacted anybody. I've never used my numbers as a trump card to be able to work with brands, but I've also had many opportunities come through my emails trying to ask for that kind of thing. I didn't know what to think of it. I don't want my viewers to see me as someone who sold out, but there's nothing wrong with it. Again, as long as both parties benefit, it's not hurting anyone in your audience because they're watching it. If it fits the channel, the better, you know, win-win. You personally can get free stuff and deals, so it's cool, but you do gotta make sure that both parties benefit in some way. Do what makes the most common sense. Nowadays, common sense isn't all that common. Keep that in mind. Aha! Answer emails. Yeah, I'm not the best at answering my DMs or emails, so I don't know how many opportunities I've missed, how many customers I've made angry. I've never been one for the office work, okay? I consider the emails like an assistant's job. This is, again, something like I just forgot how to do in a way, where in the beginning it wasn't so daunting because I didn't have that many emails, but I have 2 businesses that get tens of emails a day, and also like the DMs are just another story. That's why I suck at DMs. Yeah, I could dedicate a day or an afternoon, a few hours to just going through them, but man, it's a chore, and I'll do better. Target market influencers. Okay, here is just like small random tidbit and something I have to keep in mind for my own business. One of the cheapest forms of advertising is just sending your merch and products out to people who have a lot of followers. That's it. Use influencers to your advantage, guys, especially if you have a product or a brand that you want to make world renowned or something, or just get it out there in the ether. Send it to people with thousands of followers. It's that easy. Just DM them, or see if they have an inquiry or like a PO box address or something, and just send them some freebies. Also with like a little note just saying who it's from, why you admire them, and why you think your merch would look good on them or would be something they would be interested in. And don't forget to add your socials and your website on that note. This one is so important, guys. Cherish your ambitions. This is the mantra of Kings Must Rise. Another way of putting this is you guys gotta treasure your goals and your dreams. You really gotta pedestal them if you wanna see them through, or else it'll just be another thing on the to-do list that might get pushed back further and further until it just disappears into nothingness or just becomes a long forgotten dream. We have way too many of those, guys. And then underneath it says reignite if you have to. I don't really know what that means. Sometimes you just gotta find ways to reignite those fires, bro. There was a reason why you started in the first place. Maybe your why is not strong enough. Maybe your goals have already been met and you need bigger ones to achieve. Or maybe like life happens, you know, and it takes you down a notch and now you completely lost and don't know what to do next. You guys gotta learn how to strive in your own isolation. Be okay with being alone sometimes, because if you can't learn how to empower yourself by yourself, you can't expect anyone else out there to. Find out what it is that you really want to do in life and try it out for a bit. Build people up. Never take or tear them down. You guys just want to motivate each other, you know? Keep this cycle of inspiration going for the rest of your life. And also, just never shoot anybody's ideas down. Sometimes it might sound like a little far-fetched or unbiased opinion stupid, but yo, you guys gotta learn how to be creative. Be nice and kind to everybody. What I say to that is just treat everybody with the same utmost respect. It's the golden rule, right? You never know what somebody is going through, and like one little tiny action of support or just an example of care to somebody, whether it be a hug or like a friendly hello or a smile even, can really like uplift them that day, you know? Or take them out of a funk if they've been in one. And I know like sometimes if you are the person who's going through that kind of stuff, it's hard to put on a smile, but let me tell you, like if you try to get that smile out of somebody else, it'll definitely make you feel better inside. And I think it's more so like being validated by the amount of them being needed by someone else, you know? So I feel like if you're depressed in any way or are suppressing emotions, just let them out, express them through a creative form, whether it be art, music, playing video games, or just going out of your way and from the goodness of your own heart helping somebody out. It really doesn't take that much to make somebody happy. Be upfront and honest. Now that one's tough, because still today I like to avoid any and all conflicts, and if there is a problem, I like to be super solution oriented and get rid of the problem ASAP, or like figure it out right away, right? But when it comes to like being upfront and straight with somebody because of something I saw them do that was incorrect or something I didn't like from them, I would still have a really hard time approaching them about it. All you gotta really be is honest, even if it kind of hurts their feelings, as long as you're not lying to yourself or to them. It's short-term pain for long-term gain. Enlightened people are priority driven. That's pretty profound. Enlightened people are priority driven. God damn! So I forget where I got that from, but that's freaking good. It goes into the one below it. It is the secret to time mastery. So how I interpret this is, I think the people who are the most woke in this earth are the ones that know what they really need to do and get accomplished throughout the day. So they're just well organized, they're goal driven, they know exactly what needs to be done and what is to be prioritized on their to-do list. Whereas like I have a to-do list, but sometimes the things that are on the top of that list, which I need to get done first thing in the morning, is like a priority C. And then the super important things are like 6 things down the list, which I probably won't get to until later on in the day, but then when I get to it, I'm a little more exhausted, I've depleted more of my mental energy, my physical energy, and then I probably don't give it 100% of my effort. So yeah, that's a good one. Enlightened people are priority driven. I got this one from my brown friend Sunny. Walk and talk with purpose. It makes sense, right? If you don't have your ID, walk into that bar confidently and they probably won't even ask for it. You know, if they do, the worst that can happen is you'll get kicked out. But like everywhere you go, just carry yourself through the day with confidence. Everything has a place. Now, being like borderline hoarder of cool things, okay? Like man cavey things, it's just I have way too much stuff and not enough space now. I was talking to the stream about this the other day. Like we North Americans like to just gather so much junk that we have storage facilities to store this junk, and then they just collect dust there for years on end to eventually be auctioned off to people who eventually want to make money off them, like on storage wars. And guaranteed, like you will have maybe 4 out of 5 neighbors who half of their garage is literally just storage. This size is enough for 1 car. Everything has a place, guys, and there is this coined term, organized chaos. Be a little more organized, Birdie, because everything has a place. So just put it back in its place. That actually puts another idea in my mind, and this one is from Jim Rohn, and it's wherever you are right now, make sure you leave it better than you found it. Okay, the last one on our list, this must be the most important. Just kidding. Again, this is in no order at all, okay? The amount of work required to win is a lot. Wow, that speaks volumes, bruh. The people who say work smarter, not harder, are also wrong. Okay? You have to work hard, bro. You actually have to. Man, you guys literally have to put in the blood, sweat, and tears and really see it through, because that is what separates the ones who will make it from the ones who will just die off living this monotonous everyday 9-to-5 life kind of thing. Honestly, it's the ones that do both. Okay, you gotta try and work smarter. Obviously, you can't grind yourself down to nothingness, but you also have to be one who goes through the trenches and works their ass off, you know? You actually have to work hard at it. And that's it, guys. Like, I feel like this world has just gotten a little too comfortable, and it's uncomfortability that builds resilience and a strong-willed mindset, you know? So yeah, I guess that's pretty much it for this video. Please follow us on the Twitch channel at twitch.tv/propgame, where I've started streaming regularly too. Mostly COD, but variety, everything. I do co-op games with friends on Discord. We started playing horror games, which, like, I'm a horror movie connoisseur, but I do not play horror games whatsoever. I always just looked over my brother's shoulders and hid behind a blanket. So I want to say watching me play scary games would prove highly entertaining. And lastly, follow us on the Discord if you guys want a community for you to be able to share your passion projects. If you have a car build, you can post photos there. If you have artwork you want to get kind criticism and gentle feedback for, or if you have any ideas yourself you just want to share, or just want people to talk with that share the same interests. Like if you're into Pirate King, Super Sentais, giant mech bots, dogs, cute waifus, video games, just everything cool in life, this place is for you. It's called The Nest. So that's it, guys. Really appreciate you for, well, still being here. And I mean, you've seen me go through a lot. We've done it all, man. Getting closer to where we want to be, but not even close enough. So still got a long way to go, and we're all in it for the adventure, man. So I'm excited to see where we go next. What a life. Okay, guys, we'll see you when we see you. Peace.